Hey, my name is Sammy Maloof. I'm a Hollywood stuntman. I build race cars, and I have an outreach called Winning at the Race of Life, where I get to go all over the United States and put on stunt shows, speak to youth, and mentor them. You know, I think in my life I can look back at some of the greatest mentors that I've had, and one of them being one of my best friends is Bob Mr. Inspiration Wieland. He didn't name himself that. It was President Ronald Reagan who gave him that label. But Bob has been a big inspiration in my life when it comes to mentorship programs. He wasn't a teacher. He was a mentor. Mentors are trusted teachers. And I believe wholeheartedly, together with the wisdom that God has given us, which I only can say this because of the record that we have behind us, and being battle-tested, battle-proven in our programs, we get the feedback from not only the churches, the schools, the colleges, the prisons, the juvenile halls, the businessmen, the businesswomen, and even corporate five-star, where they've brought us in to put together a mentorship program who takes the people from where they are to where they need to be. You know, mentors aren't cheerleaders. Mentors never need anything that the protege has. The protege needs everything a mentor has. You know, and the mentor's always going to be the biggest challenge to somebody in their life, but they're the greatest blessing because they take them from where they are to where they need to be. You know, I believe wholeheartedly that if we can train people how to win from the inside out, because I've learned everyone's defeated from the inside out. If we could train them how to win from the inside out rather than try to win from the outside in, you're going to have a greater success rate. What I've learned with Bob is Bob had to be battle-tested, battle-proven from his inner man. And what we've sharpened each other about for years is it's always been the inner man that made the outer man strong. We've learned that the victories in our life are won or lost in the battlegrounds of our own mind. I can only go back to when Bob was telling me in the jungles of Vietnam in a place called the Hobo Woods when they got ambushed. And he had a choice, he said at that time, to keep running from the enemy or turn and run back to help one of his fallen comrades. Well, Bob turned to go back. And he said when he made that decision, there was no turning back for him. He stepped on an 82 millimeter mortar. He said the last thing he remembered was he seen his legs going in one direction and his life going in another direction. He said that was the last thing he remembered. That means he was completely out, dead. That's why they put him in a body bag. But you know, years later, I'm looking at this man and I'm going, how did you do the world bench press against all able-bodied men and beat them? I don't understand. How did you walk 4 million steps from Knott's Berry Farm to Washington, D.C.? I mean, an able-bodied guy can't walk 400 steps, really. And this guy's doing it on his arms. So there's something more supernatural about people that hook up with people that are supernatural. Because they could take a natural man and make him into a supernatural. Bob, tell me a little bit about some of the stuff we do together.
Well, I know for the last 20 years we've been going in various cities around America and just not only challenging the people to take that gift that God has given to them and give it away.
Yeah.
You see, that's why we've been blessed. The whole idea is to go on and be a blessing to somebody else. And that's what I really believe with all my heart that this program is going to do, because there's so many people looking for hope. They're searching for this direction, that direction. And, you know, I'm going to be honest, when I wanted to become world champion, you know who I hooked up with? Other world champions.
Right.
It didn't mean that the guy in 17th place wasn't a nice guy, but some of these people who you listen to, they're very, very sincere. Unfortunately, they're sincerely wrong.
Yeah.
So I want to learn from the best in the world. And I think our track record says something about what we've done. And so that's why we're bubbling over inside. We have so much to share in which God has given us this ability. And so by going on the respective websites, and we're going to give you that name a little later, you can simply go through the website on the internet and find how you can bring us in, man. And you know what? I believe when it's all said and done, two things are going to happen. You're going to say, man, I'm so glad we brought Bob and Sammy in number 1 and 2. I believe you're all going to say you were glad you came to this event because it's going to be a life-changing event, Sammy.
Hey, Bob, tell about the new thing we're launching.
Well, we came up with this idea that we want everybody in America to get involved in a big way. No, to help somebody win at the race of life. That's how easy it is.
You're not just helping children, young adults, you're helping veterans that served our country. You know, and I've had the privilege when I spoke in Arlington, Texas at the Marine Corps base, and I'm talking to some of the greatest vets there are out there. These guys came back from Vietnam, and some of them weren't celebrated. They were tolerated, they were mocked, they were even discredited. The people spoke, you know, false accusations against them, but what did they do? They kept their head up, and they kept walking. I meet a lot of vets today with families. They can't even help themselves. So that's where we're supposed to come in and take up the slack. You know, I'm not going to stand in the gap. I want to stand on the other side and pull them through, because if I'm in the gap with them, we're all in the gap. I'll stand on the other side and help pull them through, but I can't do it. I've learned 25 years ago, one can't multiply. So what's better, one person giving us 100% or hundreds of people giving us 1%? That's a we need you to help somebody win at the race of life.
That was beautifully said, Sammy. Thank you.
Thank you.